Hey folks, let's get into the game straight away. So how do we do so? First thing, you can go over a mission, just hit begin mission. That's about it. You can go ahead and take time to read the information that's here. If you have any questions, and I know I get asked about stuff like this very frequently, see. So this can tell you, this is just some useful information before we get into an actual mission. It tells you whether a shrine is present, and whether you can actually co-op with other people via an expedition. So that's kind of handy to know. You can see the rewards that you'll get. You'll see a certain amount of gold. I can't seem to just do anything beyond that, but you see that like coin sort of symbol underneath red spider lily. Yeah, that's how much gold you get, and the symbol next to that denotes your Amrita, which is what you use to level up. The stuff you see on the bottom that looks like a bunch of teapots, those are actually kodamas that you will get, and we'll talk about that when we get into the mission. Now, many of you will naturally have a concern about the recommended level. In my experience, the level matters less so compared to the number of graves that you see. So if you're at like 3 graves, it's appropriate for you. If it's at 1 grave, it's going to be on the easier side for you. If it's 5 graves, then generally it's pretty high difficulty. Also, other really important information, if you press R1 when you're on this screen, you can actually see some special information. So it'll tell you the number of times you've cleared it, which if you couldn't guess from here, you can actually repeat missions as many times as you want. So if you're worried about being under leveled or under geared or anything like that, well, guess what? You can repeat missions, and eventually we'll unlock other regions. So you progress through the game and you can repeat stuff freely whenever you want. So it's not like, say, Bloodborne, in which you complete an area and then you're permanently done with it. What's very nice about Nioh is that you just can do stuff as much as you want. The replay value is huge. This also tells you for this specific mission that there is 1 instance of the Dark Realm, which we will get into at some point. I don't think it'll necessarily be in this video, but there will sometimes be other bits of information, such as how many hot springs are in a mission, or whether you forgot to loot some airlocks. So there can be very valuable information here. Pretty neat. But let's get into the mission right away, and let's put to practice some of the ideas that we have been working with. It's now time to apply it. So I'm going to be skipping any cutscenes if there are any. I don't think there's any. But let's just go through what you can expect from a typical mission, and this being the very first one. So missions, you got requirements, head for the cherry tree where the sender of the letter awaits. Okay. You can see in the top right corner, we have a mini map of sorts. It kind of tells you the general direction. You can kind of see that like white blip that seems to be moving. Right now it's on the north. Right now it's kind of on the west side, south side. So it's kind of like your compass telling you more or less where to go. If there's enemies on the screen, they'll pop up, and if you have any sort of sensors, it'll tell you where certain things are. I like to explore all sorts of levels because there's many little Easter eggs and little things that you can find, which again we'll get into. Now you'll see this is basically just loot you can pick up. Let's see what it is. Alright, gives you an entry to Amrita memory, kind of gives you some history of what's going on. Picked up an item. And then of course we've got the shrine. Shrines you pray at, basically your little hub. And what do you know? By praying at the shrine, we can actually level up. And so you can see on the bottom right, the Amrita you need, and the Amrita you have, and the amount you need for the next level. So one of the first questions that you may ask yourself is, how do I decide what to level up? Now you can see the level up menu is telling you some very basic information, but I'm sure you could figure that out on your own. Now, what is the general best way to level up? Now, many players might worry, like, hey, will I have enough damage? And I will tell you, for the vast majority of the first playthrough experience, you're pretty much going to do fine with whatever you want, whatever you think is going to work. So let me point you to things you can consider when you want to decide what to level. So for the purposes of this video, for this series, and I can change this up if you guys would like, I'm just going to be using the sword because it's like the most vanilla basic weapon, I think, for anybody. I'm not talking about in terms of quality or what it actually does. If you've seen the hidden skills video, whatnot, you can see it has some of the flashiest moves available, but think about it. Sword, samurai, it's pretty generic. So I'm just going to go with the sword. And as a brief reminder, you may recall that there are 3 attack bonuses. We've got attack bonus heart, we've got strength, and we've got skill, and it scales the most with heart. So naturally you might think, hey, I want to boost the damage of my sword, so let's level up heart. And if you take a look at my melee weapons attack, it goes up by 3. And you may be wondering, well, how significant is that? That seems like a pretty sizable amount. But eventually towards the end of the game, you're going to start getting stuff like you're going to have like 1,000 or 2,000 or even and much greater attack power. So 3, in all honesty, is pretty insignificant, and you're better suited to leveling up certain things. So when it comes to core stats, my advice is going to be go for utility more than just min-maxing for damage. That's a common trap that players get into. So what are the things that you can use to really make your character feel better to play? So for example, we have talked about previously how, hey, I want to equip certain pieces of equipment. So if, let's say, I wanted to equip this valve helmet, I would need to have 6 constitution in order to do so. But right now I know I'm not going to go for it because, again, see that equipment weight at the top here? If I equip it, it'll push me to C agility, which is not what I want. So even though it would be nice to get the defense, to get my toughness up, and of course to get these benefits, I will go into C agility, which is what I want to avoid, and I'm already at the cusp. So right away, if I want to be able to equip this and maintain my B agility, I would need to go into stamina. Oh, and I forgot to equip accessories. Oh no, but they push me over the C agility. So, oh man, maybe my best bet then is to level up stamina so I can equip them without getting the penalty that C agility has. But there's also another consideration. If you take a look at your guardian spirit, you can see that there are certain stats that are locked because we don't have the relevant stats needed. So we need to have some combination for this one. You can see the symbols, but for this specific stat of strong attack key damage, if I want to take advantage of it, I need to make sure that the combination of skill and strength is 14. Right now it is not, so I need to dump 3 points in order to get the strong attack key damage, and right now I only got 1 anyway. I know you can see all sorts of other things on here, but we'll get to that when it's appropriate and when it first pops up. So right now I'm thinking, which one do I want? Well, I want to be able to equip those accessories, so I think I'll just put some points into stamina, and you can see, hey, my equipment weight goes down. My percentage goes down by quite a bit. I can equip more, so I think I'll just do that. And that is going to give me, I'm going to put stuff on. I guess I'll put on this. What I like is that it allows me to see Kodama, and Kodama are going to be kind of a collectible that you'll want to get. And when we get one, I'll tell you what they do. But Kodamas are really nice, so I like to use a Kodama sensor. And then for my second accessory, let's see, item drop rates, treasure sensor. Why not? I want to find where treasure is. And great, I was able to equip 2 accessories by and getting a big boost. Just, I got a bunch of different stats, and so my elixirs are going to be more effective. I get to see Kodama. We'll deal with what anima charges a bit later. And then I get some extra ki, which is great. I can take more actions. And then for the other accessory, I can get more items. So hey, they can drop more items. I can see where treasures is. I guess luck is increased in proportion to my Amrita gauge, which I'll have to talk about it in a later video. And then if I do lightning-based damage, I get more lightning-based. I mean, if I do any lightning damage, I get more of a damage out of that. I guess that's kind of cool. But notice that I didn't go for damage. I went for something that allowed me to get all these benefits. So keep that in mind when you're leveling up, especially in the early game. This will be huge and will really help make the process easier. Alright, so I haven't actually started playing the game, but I think this is a good amount of information for now. When we get back, I will start actually playing the game, not just actually playing the game. Alright, I'm done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.